certainly may have heard the old schoolyard retort, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And that's not true. Words really can hurt. I'm sure all of us probably could recall words even said in our elementary school years, 30, 40, however many years I did. And know that they do scar. But then words can also bless. And I remember my high school math calculus teacher. One day after school, he just asked to go for a walk with me. And Mr. Meyer and I walked around the campus, and he just shared some really life-giving words of encouragement that literally over 30 years later, I still can see his face and the words coming out of his mouth. Words really do have power. They have power to curse people, and they have power to bless people. And we are called to bless. Romans chapter 12, verse 14 says, bless even those who curse you. Bless and do not curse them. And so I want to invite us into this exercise of blessing. So, what is a blessing? A blessing is a thing, it's a word, it's an act that confers power for life. I think of what God did right at the beginning of creation. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply. His words, his command, infused, conferred potency for life, the ability, the power to go on. What would it look like for us to walk away and think about those people in our lives? What kind of words and actions could I confer upon them to give them potency in life, to make them want to live well? Blessing also confers enjoyment. I think of the blessing that God gives in the end of Deuteronomy chapter 28. He says, you will be blessed in the city, blessed in the country. The fruit of your womb will be blessed, and the crops of your land, and the young of your livestock, the calves of your herds, and the lambs of your flocks. Your basket and your kneading trough will be blessed. You will be blessed when you come in, and blessed when you go out. It's a depiction of enjoyment of life. Enjoyment of life as God would intend us to live. So what would it look like to use words and have actions that not only confer power to live, but power to enjoy life? To create a situation where people enjoy their lives even more because of you. Of course, ultimately, this is about favor from God and with one another. And so we have the blessing that we often end our worship services with. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance to you and give you peace, now and forevermore. So what would it look like to confer words or acts that enable people to know how deeply favored by God and by the community of God they are? So, literally a couple of days ago, Nathan, my son, and I were talking, and he saw this picture of a dude from the 70s with his hair way out, way big. And I told him that, when I was in high school, I actually got a perm. And I had big hair like that. And I was desperately trying to look for, can you imagine that? I was desperately trying to find my high school yearbook, but I think I conveniently discarded it somewhere along the line of life. But one of the things that you do with your yearbook is at the end of the year, you get your high school yearbook, and what do? You write notes to each other, right? Hugs and kisses, best friends forever, blah, 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 whatever. I want you to do something like that. At the back of your book, there's an empty page. What I want you to do is to think about what kind of word of blessing could you leave those other people in your group with? Could be a Bible verse that you're going to commit to be praying into their lives. It could be just something that they said that you're like, thank you for saying this. You blessed me by what you taught me. It could be just a word of encouragement. Keep on keeping on, whatever it is. You don't have to make it long. It doesn't have to be, don't put pressure on yourself. It's just an expression of gratitude, of blessing that you want to confer on one another. Because frankly, I don't think we do that enough. We don't do that enough in our culture. We don't do that enough in the church. Confer words of blessing upon one another. So, I want you to do that. We're going to give you a little space to think about this. And you're going to swap your little yearbooks and you're going to write little notes of blessing or prayers of blessing. And just take some time doing that. All right.